press this in, it makes this guy kind of rolled. So it's sort of almost like has a fillet in it. And what I usually do is take this on my bearings and I sharpen that fillet up just a little bit. And that is to make sure that the bearing seats all the way into the tang groove on the cap and in the block to make sure that it is not sticking up. Because if this doesn't go all the way down into the groove cleanly, what happens is it tries to push the bearing in this way. When you torque it down, it smallens the bearing up and it'll grab the crankshaft. You might tighten it down, and all of a sudden, even though your oil clearances were fine when you checked them here, your vertical clearance, you tighten it up and the crank won't spin. That's a lot of times the reason why. So for those, I've already prepped all those. I've already filed them up a little bit. I just file them by hand, make sure they're sharp, make sure that the bearing goes down inside of the block clean. It also goes down inside of the cap clean. So we have these guys in. Make sure everything here on the cap register is clean. No burrs, make sure everything looks flat, everything looks nice. So the next thing we're going to do is put the camshaft in. And I have my assembly lube and an oiler so that I make a little bit less mess. When I'm doing this, I still usually end up with a puddle of oil on the floor and make a mess. The other thing I usually do is put some of this down through the oil hole in the block and let it drain down. And it'll run down through the cam bearing hole and also lube up that bearing while we're putting it in. See, this guy's already dripping down, this guy's dripping down already. Okay, that feels really nice. Okay, now after you put the cam in, now is actually a really good time to put your block plugs in so you don't forget them. So these are a plug with an O-ring on them, so you don't have to, fire down on them and try to kill them when you tighten them. Good and tight is plenty good. Even if you had a little tiny oil leak inside the engine, it's only leaking inside of the engine. So we'll put that guy in here. Now, on engines that use regular pipe plugs, sometimes you used to have a problem with those. If the pipe plug was a little bit long, it used to stick out. Again, you'd have a problem. Whole engine is put together. Can't put the distributor in it because the pipe plug is sticking out in the oil galley that is right behind the gear. So it's also a good time to put this guy in. Our plugs go in, since they are a machined plug that goes up and hits an O-ring, our plug goes in so it doesn't stick out. So now we can see, all right, so everything is cool. Again, nothing hitting there. So we know now when the engine's all done, we can put the distributor in with no issue. It's just something good to check. Looks like I'm gonna need another roll of paper towels here real quick.